In networking, messages are rarely received in the same form they were sent. They arrive in pieces. They arrive out of order. They arrive over time. Message assembly is the process that turns those pieces back into a coherent message. Without message assembly, fragmented communication would remain forever incomplete. Assembly is how meaning is restored after transmission. So what is message assembly? Message assembly is the process by which a receiving endpoint collects, organizes and reconstructs message fragments into the original logical message. It is the inverse of fragmentation. What fragmentation breaks apart, assembly puts back together. Message assembly exists because networks move fragments, but applications consume messages. The boundary between those two worlds must be bridged. A useful way to think about message assembly is assembling a puzzle. Each piece arrives separately. Some pieces arrive early. Some arrive late. Only when enough pieces are in place does the full picture emerge. Now let's look at how message assembly works. When fragments arrive at a receiving endpoint, they are not immediately delivered upward. Instead, they are placed into an assembly buffer. Each fragment carries information that identifies which message it belongs to and where it fits within that message. This allows the receiver to group related fragments together. As fragments arrive, the receiver tracks which parts of the message have been received and which are still missing. This tracking continues until the message is complete or until assembly fails. Fragments may arrive out of order. Message assembly corrects this by reordering fragments into their proper sequence. Fragments may be delayed or lost. Message assembly must wait, retry, or eventually give up. Once all required fragments are present, the message is reconstructed. Only then is the complete message delivered to the application. From the application's perspective, this process is invisible. The message appears whole, even though it arrived in pieces. This leads us to why message assembly matters. Message assembly is what allows networks to be flexible while applications remain simple. Applications do not need to understand fragmentation, reordering, or transmission constraints. Assembly also protects correctness. Acting on partial messages can corrupt state or trigger invalid behavior. Assembly ensures that only complete messages are processed. Message assembly is tightly coupled with time. Waiting too long for missing fragments increases latency and resource usage. Waiting too little risks discarding valid messages prematurely. This balance is one of the hardest problems in network design. Now let's examine the defining characteristics of message assembly. First, message assembly is stateful. The receiver must maintain memory of partially received messages. This state consumes resources and must be carefully managed. Second, message assembly depends on identifiers. Fragments must be correctly associated with their original message. Mistakes here can mix fragments from different messages. Third, message assembly relies on ordering logic. Fragments may arrive out of sequence. Assembly restores logical order before delivery. Fourth, message assembly is bounded by time. Incomplete messages cannot wait forever. Timeouts exist to prevent unbounded resource consumption. Fifth, message assembly must handle failure gracefully. Missing or corrupted fragments must eventually be discarded. The system must recover without cascading impact. These characteristics have deep implications for network behavior. Under congestion, message assembly buffers fill more slowly. Partial messages accumulate, increasing memory pressure. Under loss, assembly failure becomes more common. More retries are triggered. Latency increases. Message assembly also affects security. Attackers can exploit assembly buffers to exhaust memory or processing capacity. This is why assembly limits and timeouts are critical. In distributed systems, message assembly directly influences stability. Poor assembly logic can cause cascading failures under load. Good assembly logic allows systems to degrade predictably. Message assembly is not optional. It is the cost of fragmentation. Fragmentation allows messages to move. Assembly allows messages to mean something again. Messages express intent. Fragmentation manages constraints. Assembly restores completeness. When you understand message assembly, you understand why buffering exists, why timeouts matter, and why partial delivery is dangerous. Message assembly is where transport uncertainty becomes application certainty. That is message assembly.